My wife Kelly and I were married in 1985. Our oldest son Jay was born in 1989, and he was everything we'd hoped for. The twins, Mark and Eric, were born in 1992, and as it so happens, they were born at 28 weeks, so very premature. Mark weighed 2 pounds 15 ounces, Eric weighed 1 pound 14 ounces. Ultimately, they were both diagnosed with cerebral palsy and medical fragility. Both were drip fed with gastrointestinal tubes because they couldn't consume enough nutrition orally. Mark was nonverbal and non-mobile, but learned to talk with a speech computer like Stephen Hawking. Eric was verbal, but non-mobile, and ultimately was on a trach vent for assisted breathing. Both used power wheelchairs, and we lost track of how many surgeries each boy had, but it was easily one per year, and not wimpy stuff like tonsillectomies, but spinal fusions, bone and muscle lengthening, stomach Nissens, etc. I saw a terrific bumper sticker the other day that said, "Experience wildlife, raise twins." They have no idea. Mark passed in 2014 from a blood clot. He was 21. Eric passed in 2015 of complications arising from sepsis. He was 23 at the time. So you can imagine getting past that with two of your children was neither easy nor fast, but life moves on. Jay and Sveti, his wife, having two grandsons certainly helped, the second of which was born in September of 2018, the significance of which will become apparent momentarily. In late August of 2018, I hadn't been feeling well for a month or so and was having some marginal balance issues. I figured it was a virus or something. This is all pre-COVID, of course. And I really paid it no mind. Ultimately, Kelly contacted a neurologist we knew from work with the twins to get a recommendation for an office visit. And he said, "Don't fool around with an office visit. Go to the ER and get an MRI." So on the 28th of August, 2018, I was getting ready for work, and she said, "You're going for an MRI." I said, "Nah, I've got to go to work." She said, "You're going for an MRI, deal with it." Whereupon the superhero known as She Who Must Be Obeyed entered the room. So we drove to Littleton Hospital ER in separate vehicles since I'd anticipated going on to work when they found nothing. An hour after the MRI, the attending physician comes in and says, "You have a large mass in your head. We're admitting you to the ICU." Naturally, I said, "What exactly do you mean by a large mass?" On 31 August, they wheeled me down to surgery, and 6 hours later, I was missing a racquetball-sized cancerous tumor in part of my brain, but I got a groovy scar out of it, and they left most of the personality intact, which some feel was a missed opportunity. The diagnosis wasn't pretty. It was a glioblastoma, and so statistically, I had maybe 15 to 18 months. I've had a number of people tell me it's a rough ticket getting brain cancer after having Mark and Eric, but I say they've got it all wrong. Mark and Eric were a blessing as we met so many great people in the disabilities community through them, and I wouldn't have worked at our thrift stores for 15 years absent their arrival. I say statistics means something applied to large populations of data, but not necessarily to individual data points. I'm reasonably young and otherwise healthy. My oncologist at UC Health says I'm best in class of his patients in tolerating treatment to date, and that he's very happy with my progress. Of course, I explained to him that his happiness was my primary concern. I'm 16 of 17 on clean MRIs since December of 2018. I'm back running. I'm going to do a 10K fundraiser for Littleton Public Schools on the 24th of October. I did a 6-mile training run a couple Saturdays ago, so I'm feeling good about that. I'm 38 months past surgery, so don't bring that week 15 to 18 month stuff in here. And I've got the Optune device. The Optune device is a bunch of electrical arrays that are attached to my scalp that are plugged into a device that I tote around in this backpack. powered by a lithium battery, and it sets up electrical fields in my head, which the surgical outcome in terms of the removing of the tumor was excellent. Everybody's that's seen the MRIs has indicated it was great. But there's always rogue cancer cells floating around in there. And so the electrical fields disrupt the chromosomal spindles when they try to divide. And I've been using this thing for, since January of 2019. And as I said, I keep having what my oncologist refers to as unremarkable MRIs. And quite honestly, unremarkable is my new favorite adjective. The good news is that every time I walk into a room with people I know, they all tell me how good I look. And that never happened before I had cancer. And I'm proud to have lived up to my dad's observation that I do, in fact, now actually have a hole in my head. The worst part of the experience has been that I have this insatiable urge to sing the Scarecrow song from Wizard of Oz. You all know it. Join in. Oh, the thoughts that I'd be thinking, I'd be another Lincoln if I only had a brain. But that's actually pretty small beer in the grand scheme of things. When it comes to gratitude, one of the things I'm most grateful for is LifeSpark. Following the diagnosis, there's a very natural sense of disorientation and bewilderment. Kelly and I had the opportunity to experience Reiki, and it made a significant impact on our physical as well as mental health, and helped us better focus on giving my body the air cover it needs to be an active participant in the healing process. We're very, very grateful as a result. Let me close with a couple of quotes I've found to be inspirational and comforting. The early 20th century Irish dramatist, critic, and social reformer George Bernard Shaw said, "This is the true joy in life, the being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. The being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making me happy." I'm of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendid torch, which I have got hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. Surgeon Dr. Bernie Siegel in Love, Medicine, and Miracles said, "In a life out of harmony with itself, events seem to conspire to go wrong. But by the same token, they mesh wondrously when you start to live your bliss." Perhaps this is another way of saying you create your own opportunities out of the same raw materials from which other people create their defeats. I wish you all the best. I hope you believe me when I say first and always it's about gratitude. Remember, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. And I hope you'll join me in generously supporting LifeSpark for all of the people experiencing a cancer diagnosis who need our collective help. Thanks, and God bless.